As they bounce around the Bolivar playground, Gayla Pruitt's 3 boys look like the picture of health. But a few years ago, her 2 oldest boys looked like this. Their eyes were dull with dark circles under them.
They would get sick too. They would get sick a lot. And every time they would get sick, just a cold or anything like that would run into a chronic secondary infection.
The oldest boys complained of stomach aches.
By the time the baby was 4 months old, the baby was sleeping better than my 1.5 and my 3-year-old. So we're like, something's going on here.
The Pruitts took their boys to an environmental doctor in Kansas City. When their test results came back, their arsenic levels registered off the charts.
So I start doing a search. Where is this arsenic coming from? And to my amazement, I find out that the wood on our porch contained arsenic.
Her deck and playground were made using CCA-treated lumber, which stands for chromated copper arsenic. In 2001, the EPA became so concerned with the wood, they worked with manufacturers to voluntarily phase it out. The wood was never officially banned, and stores continued to sell supplies well into 2004. We asked Missouri State chemistry professor Dr. Richard Biagioni to help us test several decks in the Ozarks. Using a weighted cloth, he mimicked how a child would touch the decks to see how much arsenic would rub off on their hands.
We were seeing arsenic on all the samples.
Of the 4 decks we tested, the results ranged. Our tests on this newer stained deck showed only small amounts of arsenic. But tests on this older deck with replacement boards showed a spike in arsenic levels, ranging from 4 to 6 times a toddler's normal daily intake of arsenic.
It tends not to come off.
Dr. Biagioni says sealing your deck can help.
Both the EPA and I think the Consumer Product Safety Commission have looked at the effect of sealants, and those seem to suppress the amount of arsenic that comes off.
After everything that has happened to her boys, Gayla says she wasn't taking any chances by sealing her deck and playground equipment.
We just did not feel good with that when we did the research on it. We just replaced it or completely covered it in cedar.
5 years later, the boys' arsenic levels have dropped dramatically, but Gayla still worries.
My main concern right now is it's still everywhere.